Just how you walking with a lion got me feeling like Micah. I've been on the way to team on my back like a biker. Shorty won't be with a star, but you lucky if I invite you. We can take it to the next spot. They yelling like Prescott. Everybody like, there ain't no breaks, no rest stop. We tryna get your head chopped. The whole club yelling. Everybody.
Here we go. 54 Formation Podcast. This is Prescott. That's your boy Eddie. Holla at the people, Eddie.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the pod.
That's what I'm talking about. We back again. Bring you some exciting Cowboys news. A few of our Cowboys players committed murder, and they kidnapped a few people. So we got all the hot takes for you.
Yeah, we do.
Nah, not really. But we got some regular news for you going on around the league. Talk about some league news. Let's talk about some football stuff. Talking football. Football's down. The XFL hadn't started yet, so we got to fill the void until it starts.
Seeing those commercials, they're trying to fire me up.
And they combined with the USFL, so they got some quality players. It's gonna be some names we recognize. You know, we're gonna pretty soon we'll see Justin Fields out there.
We gotta find our Turpin, right? I mean, that's where we found him.
Yeah, we gotta find another one. We didn't do free agency, so maybe we're gonna rob from the XFL coffers like we did Turpin and who's the other person we got from there?
It was another guy. I forgot who it was.
Yeah, it was two people we had gotten. Anyway, Turpin was the one that we got that gave us some quality playing time.
Yep.
So let's see what's going on in Cowboys news. I'd say the biggest news this week, LVE, he retired.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, it was one of those writing on the wall type things. Like, man, it's like from what I understand is he like right now he could play football, so he's fine enough to play. They just told him, "Hey, man, one more hit and you could be paralyzed for life." So it was one of those type things from what I've been reading. And so to me, he did the right thing. He's only like what 28, 29. I'm like, you got 40 years of living. You don't want to be in a wheelchair just to play maybe one more year of football. You already made, millions of bucks. Hopefully he put some away so he's set up for life. But I just wouldn't risk it, man. That's too much in my eyes anyway.
Leighton's a good person, right?
Yeah.
He's a Boise guy, and another one of our Boise connections. I lived in Idaho for a little bit, and his parents owned an RV, like a small RV company, and he would show up constantly and just do things with the public. I mean, he was just a good guy. We're gonna miss him on the team. He was a leader.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
he was solid. He wasn't great, but he wasn't a bust. But he was solid.
A lot of people, I don't know why we tend to forget the times that he made big plays for us.
Man,
there was huge times in games where he made a play, and we're like, and they would just not go unnoticed, but then it was just like whatever. Well, and if you bring it back,
he did a Troy. My favorite play he did a Troy Polamalu play once at the goal line.
Yep.
And he dove over the line, timed it perfect, stopped the quarterback sneak for a touchdown. I was like, man, I didn't know people even did that. I thought Polamalu was the only one, but he did it perfectly.
I think about our playoff game against San Francisco 2 years ago. He's the one that made the play to get us the ball back so that we can drive.
So we could at least have a chance, yeah.
And I mean, he's going to be missed, but another guy that we're going to miss even more that I think is Tyron. I think Tyron's going to be. It's not like we're going to miss the production.
That gentle giant.
We can replace that production, I think.
Yeah.
But how do you replace somebody that's been like he's got to be a family member to a lot of these guys. You know what I mean?
I still remember when he got drafted. He was like 19 years old out of USC. And he was already a freak in nature.
He was a giant
19-year-old.
He was huge.
Man, I called him the little gentle giant. He spoke so soft and he was so cool. He's the only offensive lineman I knew that had abs. And then they had that crazy story with his family where they kept bugging him for money. I'll never forget when they kept bugging him for money over and over. He had to get a restraining order against his parents and his siblings because they would show up at his house. Like, I think it's his wife now, but at the time it was just a girlfriend. And they would show up at his house. He'd already given them money. Like, he bought them a house in California because he's from USC, from California. He bought them houses and stuff, but they still kept bothering him, and he had to get a restraining order. That's when they had that guy Rich, who they're talking about, fix this, Rich.
Yep.
And they had him, and he had to go and be like a Ray Donovan, tell his family like, hey, get out of his face, not giving you any more money. And I thought that was an insane story. And then he signed that ridiculously team-friendly contract, 10 years, $100 million, which at the time seemed like a lot of money, but for all-pro going to the Hall of Fame left tackle, man, he should have got at least like 150, 160 million.
Yeah, it was definitely team friendly because it was very long. There wasn't anything like that back then, only for quarterbacks. But one thing that I always remember about him was the trainers couldn't find an arm wrap that fit his arm, so they had to create it from a knee brace.
Put the knee brace on him.
That is insane that your arms are so big that you're utilizing a knee brace instead.
The only time I saw him up close is when he went to the Pro Bowl and I went to the Pro Bowl. He was on my flight. Him and Jalen.
Oh, I think you're telling me about this. Was he sleeping or something like that? You didn't want to bug him?
Yeah. He was sleeping. He had his head set on, his eyes closed. I don't know if he was sleeping or he just didn't want nobody bothering him. And then Jalen Smith was in the front seat with his cowboy hoodie on, bent over, because he's more recognizable. You know, Tyron Smith just looks like a regular, large human being.
A regular giant.
And I'm like, yeah. And so, yep. And that was when I told y'all about before. That was when Kobe Bryant died. I went to that, but they caught my flight back. I was like,
that was a sad day.
I told my wife, that's Tyron Smith. And she's like, who's Tyron Smith? And I'm like, I'm divorcing you tomorrow. How do you not know Tyron Smith? This is embarrassing. Don't tell people you don't know Tyron Smith while you're married to me.
You know, that's one thing about these guys. I mean, offensive linemen, when I was young, there weren't offensive linemen stars. And I can say Tyron Smith was a star on.
He was, man, he was like literally a brick wall. What's crazy is he's in year 15 by now, and he still was a brick wall this year. His only problem is he just can't play a full season. When he is playing, he erases. You just put him one-on-one. You don't have to worry about helping with the stunts, none of that. He picks up everything. Nobody's getting to that, but he just can't. You just have to pencil him in for anywhere from 2 to 5 games a year missed. And you just don't know when those games are going to be.
Last year was an
important game.
Last year he played the most amount of snaps that he's played in a long time, and it was like 72%.
He did, yeah.
72% in a season. You're getting paid for 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, how many professions can you do that? That you can, that you literally can only show up for 70%.
If I go into this year right now and I'm already telling my boss, like, hey, I'm
gonna be gone for 30%
like 3 months.
of this.
Yeah, I don't know which 3 months or when it is. Just know I'm gonna be gone for at least 3 months.
It might be at a very important time when you need me too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll pick the times when it's the busiest time for our department, and I'm gonna be missing.
I was looking at the contract because right off the bat, people were freaking out like, "Oh my god, look at how much money Tyron signed for!" Right? And then I was looking at
220.
But that was what was tweeted out was Tyron Smith signs contract worth
1 year, $20 million.
Worth up to 23.
That's what the agents do. Right? The agents do that all the time. Yeah.
But now that the details come out, he signed another really team friendly contract.
Yeah, I think it's like $6 million.
Yeah,
like is what he's gonna get. Like $5 million is guaranteed, and $6 million total.
Yeah, that's a bit. But then with the incentives, there was 2 phases. The first phase was like 58%, 62%,
yeah,
40,
percentage
like
snaps,
72%, and that was he was going to make an additional like $5.5 million on top of that.
Yeah,
so he'll easily make close to, I'd say 11 million, 12 million maybe.
Yeah, about 10, 11 million. So what he made about last year, and then he has, because they're really, as long as Rodgers stay healthy, they're going to be in the mix for the playoffs. So he has like a $250,000 for each game. Yeah, for each game, plus $1 million if they get to the Super Bowl. So he can make $20 million.
I wrote that out. He'd have to play 98% of the snaps, win every playoff game, Super Bowl, and be a Pro Bowler and be able to play in the game, not just be named Pro Bowl, because that's in the contract as well.
Yeah.
To make the $20 million. So
that's crazy.
And then right off the bat, everybody started saying, "Well, why didn't we sign him then? We would if we would have signed him,
because we know him, like
yeah,
because we've met him before.
we would have still had to draft somebody. We still would have had to
Yeah, we
have
still-
a plan. So let's just move forward, like and
Yeah.
allow him to move his career forward. Allow us to not
Yeah.
be handcuffed.
And I hate how the NFL makes us into these cold bastards. Like, yeah, that's my boy, but hey, we need somebody else to play. So,
Yeah.
see you later, Tyron Smith. Even though I love you to death, I let you come over, hang out, eat some nachos. But playing on my team this year, nah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So good luck with that.
I think. I mean, that's pretty much all the really big Cowboy news. We signed.
Yeah. Except the old one we had Kendricks. They signed Kendricks, which I mean, he's not gonna be like a.
We didn't talk about that last week. We did that this week.
Nah. Yeah.
That was a huge, huge grab.
Yeah, and so that was a big one because I'm telling you, when I did my research on Zimmer's defense, we're gonna suck. The first 6 games, we're not gonna be like bottom of the barrel, but compared to how we were, we expect to be a top 5 defense. We're not gonna be a top 5 defense beginning of the season. By mid-season and on, then we'll start becoming a top 5 defense. That's just how Zimmer's defense works. He needs people to learn it and to run it correctly. If you run it correctly, it works. If you don't, it won't.
Yeah.
But he needs people on the field that's played it before. So whoever, we got Damone Clark, Overshown now, so he can have those, and both of them are young guys. He can walk them through. Oh, no, you're supposed to be here on that play. You're supposed to do this on this play. Here's the best way to run that AA gap blitz that he likes to run. Here's how you work with this defensive lineman. Here's how you work with this cornerback or safety or whatever. So to me, that was a bigger get than just the play on the field.
We talked about that in the which linebackers do we want to get. We both said Kendricks.
Yeah.
We wrote all that out.
Yeah.
We talked about how he's going to be the player on the. I mean, it's important to understand that Zimmer is going to give. He's got a new scheme that he has to teach somebody. But you and I both know, in normal jobs, once the trainer's done with you, you still are going to get tips and tricks from people that are vets on your team.
From your coworkers.
You're going to say, no, this is really how things go.
Yeah.
This is really how we're going to do things, and that's what Kendricks is going to be. He's the bridge linebacker that we really needed, and his production was. His production's off chart compared to the linebackers that we had last year.
Yeah.
Shit.
Man. Because technically we didn't have linebackers. We had safety bursts.
With safeties and
safeties
Damone Clark
trying
to learn on the fly.
Yeah. And then they would put Mike out there every once in a while, and he was doing pretty good. But I mean, you just know his bread and butter is getting after the quarterback. Like he can make plays as a linebacker, like a Fred Warner, but what Fred Warner is in coverage and tackling is what Mike is rushing the quarterback. So if Zimmer can do him 50-50 to where they don't know when like first, second down, play linebacker, obvious passing downs, and I think he can last all season because he always fizzles out.
There's a difference
Always does.
with linebackers. There's a difference between somebody that's an edge rusher or somebody that's blitzing in the middle, as opposed to somebody that's playing 3 or 4 yards back, and that you actually have to go through the chaos of people coming at you in all different directions. It's a lot different. Micah's lost back there. I mean, Micah's a good ball player. He's got a nose for the ball, just like what you just said.
Yeah.
But to put him back there as a linebacker and expect him to fill all the jobs that a linebacker would do, a waste of it.
That's what your friend Jesse Holly said.
Jesse who?
Your friend of mine? Yeah, Jesse Holly. Yeah, the guy from the Fourth and Long show, the Michael Irvin show. He said that, man, Parsons don't want none of that linebacker. He don't like thinking about it. He just want to see ball, get ball. Exactly. I remember he said that 100%. In one of his things.
It's one thing that I've never agreed with Jesse on things, but I mean, that's 100%. He just knows the ball. He gets to the ball. But you can't do that as a linebacker because you have responsibilities.
And then what's crazy is linebacker pay was higher than defensive end pay. But since he played the most snaps at defensive end, they got to qualify him as a defensive end for his 5th-year pickup. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be paying him like $2 million less because defensive end pay is less than linebacker pay. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sure Jerry's going to be like, "Hey, what's that over there?" And
He's gonna, you know what I mean?
Slide him.
Take care of him.
We're gonna slide him something. Yeah, like here's his little duffel bag. Don't count it until you get home. I'm pretty sure that goes on a lot with people like Jerry because they know how stuff gets done under the table, behind the scenes. He's probably the king of that, and that's how stuff got done in his day and age.
Jerry's learning from Kraft. Kraft did that with Brady.
Oh man,
Brady's coming
Kraft,
up with all these
Hunt,
companies.
the Hunts from yeah.
Yep.
It's like, man, do you have a landscaping company? They can be the official landscaping company of the Cowboys, and that's how you make that extra money.
Exactly. You are the official toilet, whatever, anything that they want. But
hire your homeboy. He can be the official blunt roller of the Dallas Cowboys in the locker room.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, there's
and then in other small news, we got Rico Dowdle. Dowdle came back. I honestly don't know what they're gonna. So it's like they're guaranteed to have to draft a running back now.
Oh yeah,
because there are very few left out there.
Well,
I think
yes,
the guy Fournette might be the best option.
Nah, no way.
Zeke is still out there.
Zeke's there. We got. I mean, there's Clyde Edwards-Helaire still available. Dobbins.
I really wanted Gus Edwards, but he got picked up.
Yeah, I'm just there was the top tier that was going to get a lot of money, and there's just no way we were going to ever spend that money on that. There just wasn't.
It's not.
I mean, we could have dreamed all we want, but it's that Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it's the J.K. Dobbins, those types of players that we can sign on maybe a $3 million clip where they'll produce with the rookie, and that's probably what we've been just planning this whole time, and everybody just doesn't like it because they like shiny new things.
They do. They're just like, what's the new thing we can get? What can we use?
What's under the tree?
That's what they want.
They're all.
I'm telling you. So that was my frustration during this whole thing. I even made a post and got downvoted to hell because I said, because everybody was, hung up on that all in. And I use it as a joke too. I was like, okay, these are my all in free agents. And so they're using that term. And I was like, I mean, our all in, like for instance, look at, even though they'll say Philadelphia had more success than us lately, I'm like, our philosophies are different. Philly doesn't mind going to get big free agents because if you look, they don't have any top 5 players who have a contract that's due right now that they have to
look
pay.
At their top players.
So it's easy for them to go sign. Exactly. And so it's easy for them to go and sign a big name deal because they don't have to re-sign a Dak. They don't have to re-sign a Parsons. They don't have to re-sign a Lamb. They just didn't re-sign a Diggs. Like all 4 of those are top 5 in their position. All 4 of them. That's 4 top 5 in their position.
People aren't understanding.
So it's like,
also, they're giving Howie Roseman this GM of the year thing, but the Piper's going to come calling in 2 or 3 years when all these contracts that they just backloaded really come back.
And they flamed out.
I mean,
they really were supposed to have a good year last year, but they flamed out.
When Jalen's contract comes, when those real figures come, because they push a lot of his money back.
This past year was his last year under his rookie deal, so it's about to start hitting next year.
Yeah, so I mean, they better. I mean, think about that. The 49ers, they're in a position where they have. And I think they had a little bit over 10 million more than we did in the cap, but they're losing big time stars right now. They're bleeding,
and they have Brock Purdy's contract to sit on right now, and they're still bleeding contract stuff. So it's like, I'm telling you, it works for a little bit. At least they took advantage of it. They didn't win a Super Bowl. Same thing with Philly. They took advantage of it, but they didn't win a Super Bowl with it. So it's like now
they got those. So
it's like that age-old question,
ribbons, bro. Remember that.
Yeah. So what do you want to be? You want to be San Francisco Shanahan that's been there like 3-4 times and lost every time, or you want to not go and be like, at least we didn't lose all those times?
It hurts either way, bro. It doesn't matter. It's always gonna hurt.
It does.
It's gonna hurt if you almost get there as much as it hurts when we're sitting there saying, "Well, Green Bay beat us in the first round, and now we got to watch this shit." There's not a different feeling.
I'm telling you, what one crazy stat I saw. Since Dak's been in the league, he's lost to 2 teams in the playoffs: San Francisco and Green Bay. That's it.
That's crazy.
He's only lost to San Francisco and Green Bay. He lost to San Francisco twice, Green Bay twice.
That's crazy. Well, it's
Then he
going to be
beat
such a
Russell
weird.
Wilson, and then he beat Tom Brady. So he's not
You know
that
what's going
bad.
to be weird next year is seeing all the different faces on different teams because this
Man, so many people switch teams. Big names.
it's going to be it's fantasy is going to be crazy.
It is. It's gonna be tough trying to figure that out, man. I'm in a dynasty league. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but yeah, you just draft one time and that's it. After that, you have to do contract. You have to keep track of your players, and you only do the draft for the rookies. But it's tough when all those players are moving. Like, I had Gallup, I had Lockett, I had so many players. I had Gus Edwards, and it's like, man, what am I gonna do with these players? And you can't drop them right now because you just don't know. And so it's like, but I'm gonna have to drop somebody because we have 4 new players coming in once they do the draft. We have 4 rounds for the rookie draft.
Yeah, the rookies. Plus, you have all these. You have guys moving to different teams that can take on different roles that they never had.
Exactly, and then become somebody.
Look at Mike
become
Williams,
somebody.
Right? He just signed with the Jets today. Could you imagine what type of relationship that he could build with Aaron Rodgers right now, as opposed to being lost in that rotation? It's crazy to me. Like what we're going to see next year.
We'll have to see,
one
man.
thing
We'll have to see what's going on.
What really surprised me was the quarterback carousel. Like what changed?
There was a lot of them.
The biggest surprise. What was your biggest surprise? Which one was the biggest surprise for you?
I'd say the Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
First, the cut. Because he's 80. I mean, even though it's not 1 year, he's $85 million in dead money. I thought that was like 10 years ago. He would have never got cut. Like, they couldn't stomach that, and so it was guaranteed. So that's what I'm thinking. There's no way. And then he signs for Pittsburgh for very minimum pay because they're still paying him $39 million. So he can sign for like 1 point something million and get a team around him. And they have a pretty nice. So I looked at him like, man, that's a very interesting move.
I thought of
the best move to me was Kirk Cousins.
You think? I think that I think that move created the best memes.
Oh yeah.
But the thing about Denver is when I started thinking about it, I don't know. The Denver Broncos are owned by the guy that owns Walmart, right? The Walmart family.
Yeah.
So the $85 million, when they mentioned it, they were probably like, that's like somebody saying, well, we're going to have to eat this $300 this month. You know what I mean? Like they're like,
I know.
$85 million? We can eat it. Move it.
That's a lot of money to us. That's a lot of money to us, but that's like $10,000 to a billionaire, multi-billionaire. Like, I mean, that's a lot of money.
But yeah, so my biggest surprise was, and I didn't know how it was going to work out, was Justin Fields in Chicago making the decision to say, yes, we are going to draft Caleb. We're going to screw the Commanders. Thank God.
And that's Pittsburgh again.
And then they released it. They released him, and he just they traded him for nothing. Right?
Yeah, for nothing.
It's a 6th-round pick that could turn into a 4th.
Could possibly be a 4th. Yeah.
Because Russ.
Me neither.
Russ is just
Russ doesn't get hurt like that.
Exactly. So
yeah,
it's that was a great pick.
You would have to stink it up.
They changed that QB room. I saw a picture of it. Last year's Pittsburgh's QB room was Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, and who was the other guy? There's another white dude.
I know you're talking about,
But now, and they replaced that with amazing, talented QBs.
Man, they went from the Duke lacrosse team to the light skin team. They took all the quarterbacks out. They had all team light skin and quarterback.
And then they picked up West Lafayette. But
all right, let's do it. They got way more athletic.
Yeah. I think they got the talent is amazing. Kenny Pickett.
It is, and then of course they got Pickens. Who's the other quarterback they picked up? But I'm ready to see who Carolina gets at no, I'm sorry. Who Chicago gets? I know they want Caleb. I really hope they get him because they have a nice squad right now.
It's 100%.
They have a nice squad right now.
Probably.
Once they got rid of Fields.
He knew he was getting drafted first because he didn't he didn't go to he didn't comply to any.
He didn't visit anybody.
No,
He said,
medical exams.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I'm not having nothing.
So that
they got DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Ooh, that's a nice squad.
And
assuming Keenan Allen can stay healthy.
And the new and the what's his name, Swift. They traded for Swift, or they signed Swift.
Swift, yeah.
Yep.
They lost Mooney. I had Mooney on my fantasy team. They lost him, but
he's that
he'll be all right.
Speed guy on my that guy that
he is.
He was like the Gallup to our CD. The one thing I was just thinking about was the our free our last free agent that we didn't really talk about was Stephon Gilly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's trying to make a decision right now. I mean, I don't know if they're negotiating in the public so that he can drive the price up.
Yeah, or
by saying
putting them against each other. But I guess Jerry and
saying that
Jerry and Kraft just got to get in the octagon and fight it out, man. We got to put Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft in octagon. Whoever wins gets Gilly. That's just the rules.
Well, I'll take that. I think Jerry could take him. There's Jerry.
I think Jerry can take him too, man.
That's going to be crazy. That we'll learn about that in the next couple of weeks too.
Yeah. And so I was looking. What do you think is our biggest need right now? I was looking at the remaining free agents to see if we can plug anybody because there's still some nice names out there.
We absolutely need a lineman, offensive lineman. I think.
Yep, offensive lineman. So these are the top ones that are out there. I don't know if you remember him. His name is Andrus Peat. Yeah. He played for the Saints. PEAT. He's 30. They got Chris Hubbard. He played for the Titans. Laken Tomlinson, who played for the Jets. He's a guard.
Number 77. Big guy.
Out there.
The guy that's a humongous left tackle.
He's like 6'7". Yeah, like he's super tall. They got Mason Cole from the Steelers. He's a center. We got David Bakhtiari,
right there.
But of course he's super injured all the time.
I think it's going to be Bakhtiari if we can bring him in.
And then what's crazy is the guy who Tyron Smith is taking his place, Mekhi Becton for the Jets.
I think that's what I was thinking about. Mekhi's the guy that's humongous, number 77.
He is too. Both of them are. And then last is Charles Leno Jr. from the Commanders. He's a tackle. Oh, our Connor Williams. He's out there still.
But Connor's a center now.
From the Dolphins.
I just don't know.
So he's out there.
The thing about Connor was, the cross your fingers every time there's a big play that Connor didn't hold.
Man, did he didn't get a holding? Oh my God!
Maybe it's different now that he's on
Josh Jones
as a center. Now that he has two guards right next to him, it might be a little bit different. But yeah,
he was Doug Free. Anytime you saw a flag, first thing you say, that better not be on Doug Free. Holding number 68 offense. You're like, son of a.
Oh, yeah.
I miss Doug Free. Man, that was Connor Williams.
Great,
man, that line was insane. We had Tyron Smith, Ron Leary, Frederick, Martin, and Free. That was when DeMarco Murray was just getting 120 yards every single game. Yeah.
Little did we know that we would have we would get Dak and Zeke the next year.
Yeah. So the only people left I see, like, man, they have Jadeveon Clowney. He's on there. Odell Beckham Jr. He's on there. Kyle Van Noy. He's on there. Calais Campbell, but he's a little bit long in the tooth.
Everybody that you're saying right now is old.
I really like Tre'Davious White, but man, he tore his ACL, and then the next year he tore his Achilles. So like his speed is gone. With the one person on here who I really, really love and hope we get is Hunter Renfrow. Oh, yeah. I really want him.
I love Hunter. And we talked about him last week. Third
Xavier Howard.
Third and Renfrow.
Yeah, third and Renfrow. Xavier Howard's out there.
I think he's going to turn into a safety.
If we didn't have Trey Lance, I'd have them seriously look into Ryan Tannehill, but we have Trey Lance, so. And there's nothing saying that we don't even bring Gallup back. Gallup might come back on a very cheap contract if it's not out there like he wants it to be. So
yeah, I mean, there's still dangling Zeke in our faces as well.
Yep, Zeke's out there still. So we got some names. We got some dudes. It's some dudes out there. It's some dudes to be had. We can still make some noise, which I know they don't. like him because it's not the sexy pick. Dalvin Cook is still out there. I know we have to pick up a running back. We can't go in with Dowdle and insert rookie running back here unless we went first or second round running back to make sure we got one of the blue chippers. But even then, you can still find a good fourth round running back to make stuff work.
Yeah, I think
But
Dowdle was closer to like who was that fool that we signed last year? That from the Bucks.
Oh yeah, Ronald Jones.
Like I think he's more of the
never
Ronald
played a game for us.
Model for our back right now. I don't know what we're doing with it.
Yeah.
We can still go after
Me neither.
I
have no
free
idea.
agent and draft.
Cook is still out there. Fournette is still out there. Zeke is still out there.
I don't
So
know.
it's still
I would say far, far away from Fournette, but it's
yeah.
We'll know more. Because right now
and we haven't even talked about the running backs that are going to get released once OTAs training camp starts, cut down day. So it'll be people out there. It's not who we want. Like we're not getting the Derrick Henrys or the Saquons, but I think we'll pick up somebody worth it. Definitely in the draft. For
I think
sure.
Also we I keep wanting to say something and then my mind drifts. I apologize. I don't know what I'm thinking today. But
you can't do two things once. You're old, man. You're old now.
And
You're not in your 20s anymore.
And you bring something else, which makes sense, and then my brain switches. So I think that we'll have a good draft plan. But we're also we do so well in undrafted free agents too. So we'll see.
We do. I think last year was an anomaly, and I still think that we'll be okay draft-wise. I think Monty Smith's going to be okay, and I think Schoon is going to be okay. They won't be what we expect out of our recent first-rounders like Parsons and Lamb and Tyler Smith, but I think they will be – I think we're spoiled that we think every first-rounder we get has to be Pro Bowl, knocking on the door, all-pro.
I can't wait till we do our draft special. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be all you. It's going to be all you. I'm going to defer to you because I'm going to have all my notes from Mel Kiper Jr. because he's a genius. So I'm going to have all my notes from him and see what I can come up with.
Off subject. You know what I saw today? I saw an advertisement for the new Netflix special. Did you see it?
For the wide receivers. Yeah, I saw that. And they got some good names. And they got Devontae and Justin Jefferson were two I saw.
The quarterback one last year was amazing.
It was excellent. The only downside is nobody wants to do it. All the people they want to do it, everybody.
Hard Knocks.
Down. A few other people turned.
The Hard Knocks really changed people's mindset on that. It's a distraction.
It did. For me, on the Dolphins, I used to think Mike McDaniels was a weirdo. He is a weirdo, but he's like a Rain Man genius weirdo. Like he's weird. He doesn't have good social.
You know what was weird about it? When you watched him, like he would say something to the team and the team wouldn't react. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they'd be like, "Who is this corny ass?"
Yeah, should we laugh at that?
And then he'd go, "Hey, you guys like my
younger
shoes?
Russell Wilson.
Look at my cool shoes." I don't know. He's corny.
Man.
I think that's going to be exciting. That new show is going to be cool.
So, what about movies? Let's talk some football movies. Give me let's say your top 3, and if it's just too hard, go top 5 sports movies that you would watch over and over.
I am a huge movie fan. Football movies have been my jam all my life. All the way.
Seen them all.
I've seen every single football movie there is. I don't give a fuck if you're talking about Air Bud. I'm talking about
Air Bud. I've seen that. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I made a list of my favorite. There's 12 of them. Okay, so I'll run through them real quick. We don't have to go through all of them. I mean, we don't have to go through everything, but
all right.
And then no certain order. We got Friday Night Lights. And remember, I'm also a huge fan of like being brought back into like the high school days, right? So Friday Night Lights, 100%. Rudy.
What's crazy is the TV show was better than the movie to me. The Friday Night Lights TV show.
I think I like the movie most because I read the book before I saw the movie. Like I read the book when I was in high school.
I did too. I read the book like 3 times, and that book is excellent. Anybody who hasn't read it, it's the same name for Friday Night Lights. His last name is Bissinger, I think. I can't remember his first name, but excellent book if you're a football fan. And it sucks. Yeah, it sucks that he wasn't there the season they won the state title. They won the state title the next year, but Still a
was
great,
a
still
writer
a great
followed a
movie.
high school team a whole season through the off season, and not
And
only just a team,
let him sit in.
a Texas high school football team. So it was crazy.
Man,
But
put Booby in, let him spin. Put Booby
all right,
in, let him
so Friday
spin.
Night Lights, we got Rudy.
All right.
Rudy was because I'm a Notre Dame fan. I mean,
Oh
Rudy,
man,
all of that. Old school movie that my dad put me on, Brian's Song. Not everybody's seen this.
Brian's song. I was gonna
I
say
think they
that.
got to remake
Not
Brian's
everybody's
Song
seen it.
because
They
that
got
is an
to.
amazing story that a lot of people don't really know about. And Brian Piccolo, just amazing. Okay,
Yep.
so next movie, All the Right Moves. Not everybody's seen this, and I think it's probably my favorite
Yeah.
football movie of all time. It is. There's a scene in there where Tom Cruise is talking about when God created man, and he's talking about
Mhm.
and he's like on the seventh day. He's talking about how when God created football players, like he created the football player, and he created him to
Oh,
bleed, and the crowd would worship him and everything. And then he's like on the seventh day they played football. Like it's just an amazing movie. I love that movie.
It is.
Remember the
Yeah.
Titans?
I'm telling you.
Not only because it's
Oh
amazing
man,
football,
that's
but like the civil rights in that movie. I made my kids watch it.
man. All that.
After
Yeah.
after our lockdown and like the whole Black Lives movement and everything,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I made my kids watch Remember the Titans because it was like the closest thing that I could
It was
show
great.
them about what people went through.
That scene when Denzel was in where they fought Gettysburg and he gave that speech and it was foggy and I'm like,
Or
oh
when that
man,
coach,
that was
when
it.
that one coach,
Like I'm ready to run through a
when that
wall
one
after
coach
that.
is cheating with the refs, and
Oh
he
yeah.
goes and he points
Uh-huh.
right at the coach. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't do that in real life, but that was real good at that point in the movie.
Draft Day. I absolutely stood up and clapped in that movie. That movie was fucking amazing. I don't know if it's because I love Kevin Costner,
It was good.
but the way that he screwed the other teams that were trying to screw him, I loved it.
Yeah. That's one of those things where that would never happen in real
all the
life, but it was still a good movie. Like no team would do exactly what he did. That's crazy. Those
Hey, don't put it past
top
Jerry.
10
Don't
draft
put it
picks
past
he's doing,
you.
all because of a birthday party.
I
Did they
just
go to
love
his
how he
birthday
put
party?
the note in his pocket in the beginning of the movie that not people. And at the very end, he's like,
Mhm.
I was going to draft him no matter what happened.
Man, you know what? I'm adding that to my list. I gotta go watch that again. I'm glad you
Next
said
one
that.
is
I
I
saw it
saw
when
it
it
in the
first
theater,
came out.
and I remember like I saw it with my ex-wife, and at the end of the movie, I stood up and clapped, and there was literally like 20 other guys that stood up and clapped with me. Like it was like one of those movies. Next one, I'll say
Yeah.
Any Given Sunday. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Oh,
If
man.
anybody ever wants to know what playing football is like, watch Any Given Sunday, because the plays, like when they show what the players go through and what they hear during a play, it's 100% right.
Mhm.
Everything is quiet. You can hear
Most realistic.
breathing.
Most
You
realistic
can
to
hear
me. Yeah.
crunching and the other your pads hitting each other, but you can't. You could be in a 80,000 populated stadium. You couldn't hear a one person screaming. It's crazy.
Man, his eye got pulled out. That was crazy.
Then we got to go with Varsity Blues. Varsity Blues is again one of those ones.
Yeah.
It's like high school pulls you into those. Yeah,
One of those feel good ones.
Tweeter.
Yeah, one of those feel good ones. I
Tweeter's
like
gonna
that.
drink beer because Tweeter drinks beer. I love that movie. Another one that is one of my favorites is The Program. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to see that movie.
Man, I promise if you didn't say that, I was going to say that. That was
Latimer with the face paint and.
Man, he looked him in his eyes. I'm not on that stuff, coach. Like, yeah, you
when that dude hit him and the snot bubbles come out, I mean, that's realistic. I've seen that happen.
Oh man,
I saw the movie in the movie theater when I was a junior in high school.
I did too.
We went with our whole team when we went and saw it, and it was when they had the scene where all the players laid in the street. Do you remember that scene? They removed that scene when it went to video, but I remember that scene vividly. Next movie I think is Little Giants. Now, I'll fight anybody that says Little Giants is not a great fucking football movie.
That is my almost all time. Spike don't care. Spike don't play with girls.
I'm going to tell you right now that I think John Madden took the annexation of Puerto Rico, the Fumblerooski play.
Mm-hmm.
We ran that play in high school. 2 years before that movie, Little Giants came out. And
I remember the video you
that.
sent.
But the thing about it is
Yeah, you
John
showed us that video on the
Madden's son
Discord.
coached our freshman team. So there's a connection.
I remember you told me that too.
And our highlight tape was produced by Fox Sports, and John Madden and Pat Summerall were the commentators on our. So I swear to God, he took that movie. He took that play from us and put it in Little Giants. And then
we knew we were gonna talk about it. We could have uploaded it and have y'all watch.
Right? And then 2 more. There's a movie called The Best of Times. Has Robin Williams and Kurt Russell in it. It is It's a movie that our freshman coaches had us watch like on an off day, and it dug into my soul. That movie, it's an amazing movie. If you've never seen it, go check it out. And then the last one you need to check out. If you're a football fan, you need to see Wildcats. That's with Goldie Hawn. You remember?
Okay, yeah.
When the cheerleaders are like, "You're so ugly." I forgot to cheer is funny. Like the cop is like, "Where's your parents?" And he's like, "Are you crazy? He ate his parents." So those are my my favorite food.
You name some good ones. I'll start with mine, like yours, in no particular order. Friday Night Lights, of course. I told you I love the movie and the show. He was talking to that dude, Deacon. He's like, "What are you seeing out there, Deacon?" He's like, "Man, they're strong, they're fast, they're smart, they're fast." Like you already said that one.
Dude, that was that movie with the speech. I'll never forget the 30-minute. The next 30 minutes for the next 30 years of your life is 100% true.
Yeah,
for people that play sports.
Yep. And I actually knew a coach that was in that movie. The church I was at, he was one of the actors in there. If you rewatch it, when they're in the championship game and they're playing Carter, and a black coach gets mad and shoves stuff off the table, I went to church with the guy who ended up doing that. He wasn't an actor. They just had him as an extra, and it was like, just shove everything off the table, and he did it because he was pissed.
Dallas Carter had to forfeit that championship.
Yeah, they did after a while. Yeah, once I read the book. And I found that, man, so much wasted talent. Those dudes supposed to be in the NFL. They just had to steal stuff. But anyway, one of my underrated ones is not the original, but the second, The Longest Yard. I actually like that one. I actually like that one.
I'm a sucker for Chandler.
I liked it. It was pretty funny. He's like, what's the one? He's like, "Oh, you said my balls."
The thing I liked about the second one was like Terry Crews and like, I mean, it was a lot funnier than the
Terry
first
Crews.
one. The first one was grittier because that was made in the 70s. 70s was a little grittier than it was in the 2000s, right? So, but the funny
and my favorite funny one, The Waterboy. That's it. I gotta see.
I love that Captain Insano.
The Waterboy is hilarious. I love it. And y'all don't know about this one. A lot of people don't know about it. I'm only throwing this one in there because they filmed it back in my hometown, Shreveport. It's called the Long Shots. It was Ice Cube and Keke Palmer. She played the girl that was the first girl that took the team to the championship with Pee Wee football.
I almost said Gridiron Gang.
I like that one.
Down the same line.
Yeah, with The Rock.
Was a good movie.
Of course, Remember the Titans is way up there. That's one of my favorite ones. Strong Side, Left Side. And then if I had to do one last one, is what we talked about, Little Giants. I've seen that so many times. This is intimidation where they had the foam coming out their mouth, annexation.
I can talk about that for days. Like that kid that he couldn't catch anything with toilet paper, or the one dude that or the one dude that missed his dad so much that all he had to do was run to his dad in the end zone to score a touchdown.
Like run to your dad. Or the one is like, I'm gonna score a touchdown. I'm gonna score a touchdown.
I still use the one when he's running around and he's like, blow the whistle, because all the defense is chasing him. I love that one.
Yeah, man, a good sports movie just puts you in and I like the ones that have a good ending to it too. Like Little Giants had a good ending. The Friday Night Lights had a good ending. The not Longest Yard. What's the one? We were just talking about it. Any Given Sunday had a pretty good ending. I liked it. But yeah, I like a good ending to those. Of course, Rudy has the best ending of all time, but it was pretty good.
I mean, if you haven't seen any of those movies, you need to go find somebody, ask them to slap you, and then get on with your life and start watching some of these movies.
And then find someone you love and enjoy it with them. Yeah. If you have kids, make them watch it. A lot of those, I think Any Given Sunday might be the only, out
there's
there
some
one
scenes
with
in that movie.
snorting
man,
blow.
yeah.
Yes, snorting blow off the hooker in the
shower
bathroom.
scene
Yeah, you
with
can't
the,
have that.
with
in
the
front of kids.
alligator, and when the owners
Oh,
walking
yeah,
through
yeah.
the locker room.
And then when the owner came in and he just
That's it.
standing there, just
Hey,
all his
I'm
glory's
gonna
out.
be honest with you, bro. It's a men's locker room. You walk around, you're like, hey, that's enough
it's like that
nakedness,
in
bro.
locker
You don't
room,
need
tell
to be
me.
naked doing this.
Yeah,
And you'd have 45 minutes to put your underwear on.
I'm like, man, yeah, man, just throw the boxes on. Like,
That's funny.
throw
But
them
yeah, man,
tidy
that
whities.
was fun. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good
We
thing.
need to have some segments where we're going off script a little bit, talking a little bit about some other things.
You know, and we should do that. Do what's called a rewatchable one of these times. Just say, hey, we're gonna rewatch Little Giants next week. We're gonna spend about 10 minutes talking about it.
Next week we should talk
We
a
can do
little
that.
bit about the March Madness, because we'll be right in the middle.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, we'll be right in the middle of it. We can go over our brackets. We have a bracket in the Discord, so if you're in the Discord, you still got
You don't
time to
have
get in
much
before
time.
Thursday. We'll see. I'll win again. I won the playoff challenge for the NFL. So
This guy's
forget it.
winning
I'm
his
going
own.
for the sweep. I don't care about anybody else in the Discord. Yeah, I put up the prizes for everybody, and I ended up winning it. So I'm gonna win it
That's how
again.
you're
If y'all
getting
don't want to
away with
win,
this
I'll
shit.
take
I
it.
think that I'm gonna
I'll
talk to
take.
your wife about this. You're like,
I'll take.
you're like, no, honey, I gotta buy this $250 thing for the prizes for the Discord, and then all of a sudden you win
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
Hey, my wife is still thanking y'all for letting her spend the night with a football playoff challenge champion. Yeah, appreciate it. Y'all let her spend the night with one. So
Nice.
good.
Well, that was it. I mean, that's
Anyway, so
that was a good wrap up of the week.
yeah, and that was pretty good.
Here we go. Are we gonna? Is he gonna do that next year?
All right,
You think?
he has to.
We'll see.
It worked. He was an MVP consideration until the very end. So I'm like, keep everything, just add a couple more stuff. Which they need another wide receiver.
We'll get into that. We'll talk about the holes in it.
If I'm Jake Ferguson, I'm in the back. Well, he can't do it right now because of the baby, but I'm in Dak's backyard catching passes all day.
Well, he's going to be at that tight end you soon.
Yeah. If I'm Tolbert, I'm asking Dak and I move into his other room since he just gave me a little sister. Like, I'll be her big brother. Let me go in there and Tolbert just catch pass from Dak. Like, okay, the baby's asleep. Let's go in the backyard.
I hope that we draft that country ass motherfucker from South Carolina.
Man, from South Carolina.
Him, he's gonna have to have.
He sounds from deep in the backwoods.
Boot cleats.
Yeah,
like that would be so sweet.
That is. That would be hilarious.
Legit.
Anyway, but that's all we got time for today. We'll catch up with y'all next week. Bring more news, more updates, more everything you need. All right, Eddie.
DC
say goodbye
for life.
To the
you know this. Love you guys. Love that. Love to my kids and all our loved ones out there. Go give your family a hug.
Here we go. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Holla.
Cause how you walking with a lion got me feeling like Micah. I've been known to wear the team on my back like a biker. Shorty won't be with a star, but you lucky if I invite you. We can take it to the next spot. They yelling like Prescott. Everybody like, there ain't no breaks, no rest stop. We tryna get your head chopped. The whole club yelling.